Hi, thanks for joining me for this quick stretch. You're going to need a strap, and if you fancy a couple of blocks, have them handy depending on how comfortable you are in your lizard pose. We're going to start lying down, so if you need to pause the video to get comfortable, pause this now and join me lying down on your back. When you relax here on your back, allow yourself to take a moment to lengthen the body, taking the feet a little bit further away from the waist, and then using the back of the head and the back of the shoulders, maybe even your elbows to kind of elongate the back. You can move the head slightly further back and let your toes spill to the outside, hands come by the side of the body, palms facing up. Take a deep breath in and allow me to invite you to take a really long exhale. Take this exhale until you literally feel there's no air left in you. Really long through the mouth, and then inhale through your nose. Make the inhale smooth and calm. Don't rush it, don't make it panicky. Let's do this 2 more times. Exhale really fully. Feel the rib cage hugging in, feel the shoulders getting heavier. Don't let any tension come into the body, just let yourself melt away. If your eyes aren't closed yet, feel free to close them. One final inhale here. And as you settle in on the mat, just let yourself feel the surrender of this pose. Whether you're doing this at the end of the day or at the beginning of the day, allow yourself to feel the kind of familiar, altogether familiar sensation of just melting into the mat. And then nice and easy, bring your feet together. Zipping the legs together, point the toes as far away from the body as possible, and then flex both sets of toes up towards the body. Let's do this one more time. Point and maybe rolling outside in towards flexion. Let your feet come to the mat, and this is where your strap's going to come handy, so grab hold of your strap and nice and long put it on the ball of your right foot. If this is something that you can do without the strap, i.e. you can hold onto the big toe of the right hand, feel free to do that. Your left leg can be elongated nice and straight, heel down, or it could just be flat foot on the floor. Wherever you are, hold onto the strap in both hands and let your shoulders melt to the ground. So rather than letting them hoink up towards the ears, allow them to be heavy. Now, your knee does not need to be straight, but I would like you to have that energy of pulling up from the heel. See if you can hug in through those lower ribs so you're not beginning to arch your lower back, maintaining nice integrity. Let's take one more deep breath in as you really shoot that energy through the right heel to the sky. With the right foot now, introduce that sensation of as if the foot is trying to go back towards the ground, and with the strap you're going to hold on. Only about 6 out of 10 effort, just so your muscles wake up. Then see if you can bring both straps to the right hand. Holding both straps in the right hand, bring the left hand to the top of your left hip. Making sure that the left hip stays grounded, shooting energy from that right heel. Allow yourself to bring the right foot nice and straight to the right. Now I have a wall here, which isn't ideal. So let me shimmy a little to my left. And then I'm going to use my right elbow like a tripod to place it down. The strap is still tight, so I'm not letting it be loose. And the right heel stays as much in line with the right hip as possible. Left rib cage melts down. Take one more deep breath in here. Now, same as we did just a second ago, I want you to create the action with the right foot as if it's pulling up, and with the right hand, keep the foot in the place. Don't forget to breathe here, just engaging some of those muscles at the lengthened position, and then as you exhale, nice and easy using the leg muscles alone, bring it back to center. Grab hold of both of the straps in the left hand this time, and bring the right hand either to a goal post or to a T, whatever is comfortable for the right hand. Now allow me to invite you to just put that left foot a little further away if it's bent, And if it's nice and long, you'll have more space, but it doesn't have to be. So we're going to go to the left with the right foot, bring it all the way to the left. Use that left elbow as a tripod. One more time, kicking from that left heel away from the left hip, right heel away from the right hip, and then allowing ourselves to just feel the stretch, not letting that right foot go towards the left ankle. Now for the next inhale, I want you to create the action of pulling up with the right foot, and the left hand allows the foot to stay in the position. We're not going to stay here long. Nice and easy, bring the foot up to the ceiling. Bring the knee to your chest, bring the left knee to your chest, and just hug it in for a moment. Just really letting yourself circle a few times, one way, then the other. Letting yourself feel the difference between the right side and the left side. And before you reflect on it too much, let the left foot be hooked with the strap and hold onto the strap in both hands. One more time, the right foot can be flat on the floor. It could also be nice and long. If it's nice and long, energize that right heel so it's not just like a dead leg there. Nice and connected. The shoulders are relaxed, the neck is relaxed, the forehead and the chin are parallel, meaning you're not looking down and you're not looking up. Now create the action of the left foot as if it's trying to go back to the bottom edge of the mat, hugging through the lower ribs. Don't let yourself hoink up through the shoulders. Doesn't need to happen. Just feel that leg working a little bit at the lengthened position. And then relaxing that, grab hold of both straps in the left hand, bring the right hand to that right hip. Flattening that right outer hip down, right rib cage down, bring the left foot to the left side. Keep the left heel as much in line with the left hip as you can. Nice and passive, stretching in through here. That left heel goes towards the left side of the room. And for your next inhale, I'd like you to create the action of pulling up with the left leg. For me, it feels a little weaker than the right, and the left hand holds onto the strap so the leg doesn't swing back up. Now release the tension with the left hand and let that left foot come back up to the sky. Grab hold of the straps into the right hand. Your left hand can go to a goal post or to a T and bring the left foot all the way across the body to the right. One more time, don't let it slip down towards the right knee, but keep it in line with the right hip. I'm really not bothered how far down it goes, keeping the left side of the body really heavy, really to get too flat to the floor. And then you're going to create that action of pulling up, and the right hand is going to hold the foot in place. And nice soft exhale before we come all the way back up. Let go of the strap, put the strap to the side, hug in both knees, and come to a very easy happy baby. So opening the knees nice and wide. Grab hold of the feet from the inside with your fingers pointing out, cupping the heels. Shine the heels towards the ceiling and use your elbows to either widen the hips, or you can use your hands to pull the knees closer towards the ground. Lovely. Rock from side to side if that feels good. And then nice and easy, bring your knees to your chest one more time. Allowing the knees to be stuck directly over the chest. Bring your hands to a goal post or a T, and nice and easy from side to side, bring your knees to the right. You can look over to the left side if that feels good on your neck. Engaging the core muscle, bring your knees back up. Bring your knees to the left, look over the right. Now the closer your knees are towards your chest, the easier this move is. So if you are looking for a little bit more and want to scale it up, bring the knees a little bit further away, stacking the knees directly over the hips, and then work from here. Your practice, your goals, your aims. Let's do it one more time on each side. Depending on the time of the day as well, you might want to go easy on yourself. Nice. Then we've got a couple of options. You can bring the knees to one side, you can cross the ankles and roll over whichever way you want. Come and join me. Seated, rolling over those ankles, bring your knees onto the ground and your feet underneath your hips. Coming into the hero pose, roll the shoulders a couple of times just to settle in here. Letting yourself feel what's going on in there. See if you can roll the shoulders without moving the neck. Staying nice and placid, and see if you can maintain that shoulder hug, rib hug underneath you. Nice, bring both hands in front of you and really, really reach. And now from here, bring both hands up towards the sky, reach through the ring fingers, don't let yourself round. Hugging through those lower ribs, lift from the back ribs, bring the right hand to the right side by the hip, left hand up and over. Now bend that left elbow towards the sky, and then bring the left fingertips closer towards the ground on the right side. Hugging through those ribs, come back to center, both hands up. Let's repeat on the left, so bring the left hand towards the ground by the hip, right arm up and over, and then allow yourself to hug in through those ribs and letting yourself bend that right elbow, making it lighter towards the sky while you make the fingers heavier towards the ground. Come back to center, bring both arms forward, bend your elbows, turn your palms towards you, and now nice and easy, bring the elbows to meet, pinkies to meet. See if you can lift the elbows a little higher. And then see if you can open up your palms. So keeping the elbows together, just spreading the palms nice and wide. For some of you, this is really uncomfortable. For others, this is nothing. So just reflect on that. Bring the hands back in. Open up to a goal pose. Pinkies forward, thumbs back. Don't let your rib cage flare. Exhale, bring those elbows one more time. Squeezing the elbows together, pinkies together. Lifting elbows higher, open up those palms like a little peekaboo. Bring them back in together. Open up. One last time. Elbows together, pinkies together. Lift those elbows up. Open up. And bring the hands together. Open up to cactus. Shake those hands, let them flare down. And then bring your hands behind you, interlace the fingers. And pull the knuckles away from the hips. Squeeze the shoulder blades nice and deep. All right, let that go. Bring the left hand up, bend the left elbow, bring the left hand in between the shoulder blades. Now with the right hand, I'd like you to reach nice and straight back, and then bending the elbow, bring the right hand towards the left fingers, but don't interlace. See if you can make fists here. Open up the hands, spread the fingers nice and wide. Let's do the same thing at the side. So right hand goes up, bend the right elbow, reach that left hand behind you first, keep it close to the side body, then bend that elbow, let those fingers go towards one another. They don't have to touch, just want you to make some fists. Bring the fists closer, open up, lovely. Let those hands float down. Nice and easy, bring your knees as wide as the mat and your big toes together. Walk your hands further forward, spread your fingers nice and wide, and allow yourself to do a couple of cat-cows in here. As you inhale, pull the hands towards the hips, but keep them pressing down. Look up, let the tailbone go towards the back of the room. Relax the shoulders away from the ears, maybe even squeeze them slightly. As you exhale, push the floor away around the belly, towards the spine. And really, really round the tailbone towards the front of the mat. Chin to chest. One more time, inhale, cow pose in seated. And exhale, cat pose. Nice and softly walk your hands towards the front edge of the mat. Take a moment here in extended child's pose. Your forehead can touch the mat if it is available to you. And if not, put it on the block. Walk both hands to the right. With the left hand, reach further away. With the right hand, press down and imagine you pulling towards the right hip. Deep breath into the left, full exhale from the right. Maybe even feel like you've got more space on the right. Come back to center with the hands. Settle in. And then walk your hands to the left. With the right hand, see if you can reach further away from the waist. With the left hand, press down and pull towards you. Inhale into the right side of the rib cage. And exhale from the left side. Beautiful. Come back to center with your hands, stack your toes under and come into a downward facing dog. You can pedal your feet here for a moment if that feels something you feel comfortable in. Or just come into a stillness, bending your knees, pressing the hands into the ground, allowing your ears to be in line with your arms and your gaze towards the back end of the mat, maybe even towards your knees or your navel. Then when you're ready, come to a steady down dog if you haven't yet. And allow me to invite you to bring the left foot a little bit closer to center, to the midline. Bring the right leg nice and high. Keep the legs straight. Pull from that left outer hip back. And then bring the right foot outside the right wrist. See if you can step it nice and soft. We're going to stay in a nice high lizard for 2 breaths, and then we're going to lower our knee down. So in here, allow yourself to bring that right foot to the mat, press the hands into the floor. If this is feeling really, really uncomfortable, feel free to put blocks underneath your hands to lift the floor a little bit towards you, shining the heart forward. Energize the back knee towards the sky, feeling the stretch and energy from that back leg. Before we settle too much, lower the back knee and tuck the back toes. Option to stay here, pulling the right knee towards the right arm, or even coming into your forearms, making sure that the left and right forearm press equally into the ground. 2 more breaths here. Nice, full, long exhales. Wherever you were, come into your palms. Allow yourself to tuck the back toes under. Take a one-legged dog, right leg in the sky. And then come into pigeon with the right knee to right wrist and the right foot towards the left side of the mat. Set your hips nice and low. I like to shimmy the left foot further back, and I like to look over my left shoulder, making sure that the leg stays straight in line and doesn't spill to the left or to the right. The left foot is in line with the left leg. Bring your hands towards your hips. Set the hips nice and heavy, and then squeeze that left glute. On your next exhale, see if you can come all the way down to your forearms. If you want to come lower to a sleeping pigeon, feel free to do that. If you're comfortable in here, let's take 3 breaths in here. Enjoying the stretch. Allow yourself to find that straight line of stretch through the piriformis on your right butt cheek, keeping that left glute nicely engaged. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you should feel a nice stretch that goes kind of from the inside of the butt cheek to the outside rather than up or down. And if you don't feel it, see if you can wiggle your hips slightly to look for it. Then nice and easy, bring your hands towards the mat, open the heart, and then sit onto that right glute, bringing the left leg nice and long in front of you. Allow that right foot to touch the left thigh, flex the left toes. If you have your strap and you want to benefit of using it right now, you can hook it over the left toes, ball of the foot, lengthening the spine, keeping it nice and straight. You can pull yourself into a more passive stretch over that left leg. Those of you who've been practicing with me a while, you know I like to practice my Janu Shirshasana coming into the center rather than over the left leg. So I'm going to lift my arms nice and high, keeping the length in my waist. I'm going to hinge from the hips and come all the way down. Using the hands for support, I'm going to take a breath in, lengthening the heart. And as I exhale, I'm going to bring myself just that tiny bit closer to the earth. Flexing the left toes, I feel that left hamstring waking up, lengthening. And nice and easy, come back up. This time allow me to invite you to bring that right knee towards the sky and the right foot down to the floor. You can stay here or you can hook that right foot over the left thigh. You can stay here or you can bring the left heel towards the right glute. Pick your option, you've got 3. Either way, allow yourself to feel the sit bones nice and heavy on the ground and allow yourself to press through that right big toe mound. Reach through the left arm nice and long. And then as you exhale, either hug or hook the left elbow over that right leg. Take a deep breath in, lengthen through the spine. As you exhale, twist to the right. Now allow me to invite you to inhale to the left side body and exhale from the right side body. See if you can twist deeper, maybe even look over the right shoulder. Let your head stay nice and proud, rather than letting the chin collapse down to the chest. One more deep breath in to the left, exhale from the right. And softly, softly unravel. Take a deep breath in here. You should be still facing the front edge of the mat, so allow yourself to shimmy that right foot a little bit further away. Then using your hands, lift your hips up and come back for that downward facing dog. On your next inhale, bring the right foot slightly more to center and let your left foot go up to the sky. Pressing the floor with both hands, pull that right outer hip up towards the ceiling and then step the left foot outside the left wrist for lizard. As you come here, elongate that right foot if you want to. If it's perfectly comfortable, let it stay there. Keep that left foot on the mat and the left knee kissing the left shoulder. You can stay here, or of course you can bring your blocks underneath your hands, allowing yourself to lift the earth slightly. Energizing through that right knee, allow yourself to be present rather than like a paperweight. Nice and soft, relax the back knee to the ground. Untuck the toes, press the top of the foot down, and then see if you can lower down to your forearms or stay on your palms. If you need to change the height of the blocks, play with that. Whatever it is you decided to do, hugging that left knee to the left shoulder, let the heart shine forward, and take a couple of breaths here. Notice if your shoulders had rounded up around your ears. Press the elbows into whatever they're touching so they feel like they're connecting rather than collapsing. Nice and easy, come back to your palms. Pull the blocks to one side. Tuck the toes of the back foot, lift the back knee, step it back to one-legged dog. And then come in for pigeon, left knee by the left wrist and the left foot to the right side of the mat. Walk that right knee a little bit further away, look over the right shoulder, check your right leg, and then nice and easy, setting the hips nice and low. You can use your hands to bring them closer to the hips first. Squeeze the right glute and then see if you can come to your forearms. Deep breath in, full breath out. Just 2 more like that. If it's too high up on the left hip, feel free to pad it with a block or a cushion if you feel like you're losing balance and it's really uncomfortable. Then nice and easy, come back to your palms. Let yourself sit down on that left glute and sweep the right foot forward. Let me face more towards you. Bring the left foot towards the right thigh. One more time, feel free to use your strap, hooking it over the ball of the right foot. If you fancy more of that little twisted version, the kind of classic version of Janu Shirshasana. Or if you want to join me, reach both arms up, lengthening through the spine, and then hinging from the hips, come into that space in between the legs. When your hands touch the ground, notice where you are, lengthen through the spine, let the heart shine forward. Taking a full exhale. Notice if you can melt more into the pose. One more full exhale. Towards the end of that exhale, let the core engage and then come back up. Bring that left knee towards the sky. You can keep the left foot here. You can cross over the right leg. You can bend the right knee towards the left glute. Wherever you are, you don't have to be in the same position and the same alignment on this side. So for me, this right knee feels rather uncomfortable, so I'm going to stretch it out. Pressing through the left big toe mount, I'm going to reach through the right hand, and I'm either going to hug or hook. Take the waist with you, bring the left hand behind you. Try not to collapse into that left hand, but keep the spine nice and straight. Breathe into the right side body as you exhale. Exhale through the left side body. See if you can twist deeper. Don't let your shoulders creep up towards the ears, and don't let your head collapse. Stay nice and proud, pressing through the left big toe mount, wherever you are. On your next exhale, let all of the air out, come back to center. And same as we did before, allow yourself to crawl over the legs rather than downward facing dog. Come into seated on your shins one more time. Now take a moment in here, just feel what it feels like to be in your body and decide if you want to finish this practice lying down on the floor in Shavasana, or perhaps with me with the legs up the wall. Whatever is your choice, you can also stay seated for a seated meditation. If you have been sat down most of the day, so this far, just allow yourself to maybe not be seated. Whatever is your choice, come into it now. If you came to legs up the wall with me, and you fancy lifting the hips ever so slightly, you can use one or two of those blocks that you've been using earlier. If you need a blanket, feel free to put a blanket over yourself. Let the shoulders relax. And let yourself melt in. In these stages of the practice, it's very easy to just skip it. You might be thinking, I've done my bit. But this also is part of your practice, just staying put for a moment with nothing else to do but quieting the body and the mind and letting the energy absorb. I am still here with you. Whichever pose you have chosen, find comfort in it. And let's stay here for 5 more breaths. if you have more time to stay here just that little bit longer, feel free to stay here. Otherwise, allow yourself to wake up the body in a way that feels natural for you. Whether you ended up in Shavasana with the legs up the wall, just allow yourself a few mindful moments, really paying attention to what is needed in your body before you join me seated. Maybe you were already there and then I'm joining you seated. Stacking your body. Allow yourself to feel the sit bones nice and heavy on the ground. Bring your hands to prayer. Elongate the back of the spine. Bow your head down. Thank you so much for your practice. If you've enjoyed it, share it with your friends. If you haven't enjoyed it, share it with your friends. You never know, they might. Have a fantastic rest of the day. Take good care. Bye-bye.